Here's the first thing. Families, whānau, are the foundation of our nation. Everyone turns around. If you look at different policies, everyone says that, yeah, families are foundation. Families are important. But here's what they don't talk about. You talk to them about how are you going to do that? How are you going to make them? Anyone can say it. Good intentions are not good enough. You have to ask the question, how are you going to do that? Does anyone want to ask me how I'm going to do that? Yeah, how are you going to do it? Hey, what a great question. Here's what I learned when I was in Parliament as a cabinet minister. They have a thing in policy called the paramountcy clause. In other words, the first centre thing that you build a policy around that leads into practice. And so what I saw there is that families are not the paramountcy of a lot of the policies that we have. Here's what we have. We have the child that's there. And everyone says, oh, that's great. We've got the child that's the centre, and now families are at the side. There is one part, which is called whānau order, by the way, that puts whānau at the centre. But a majority of our policies are not like that. And so the child is at the centre, parents on the side, family on the side, and everyone says, oh, that's okay. That seems normal. But here's the other problem. Then you've got Ministry of Health, then you've got Ministry of Education, then all of a sudden, guess what happens? The family, the other ministries, health and education and others, are just as important as the family. People say, that's okay, that seems normal. But here's what happens now. Follow the line of what actually happens. So a year and a half ago, do you remember during the COVID vaccinations? Ministry of Health says this, my gosh, we need to look after the welfare of the child. They need to be vaccinated. Speaks to the Ministry of Education. You need to look after the health and well-being of the child. They need to be vaccinated. They go straight to the child and say this, you know what? Even as young as 12, you do not need the consent of your parents. You can be vaccinated. So what happened there? We don't need the consent many times of the parents. It goes even further. There's already a law that's inside Parliament called the Conversion Practices Prohibition Law. And one part of that law says this, is that inside that even a child as young as 12 does not need parental consent to have a transition of one gender to the next. As young as 12. Why? Because we've taken away the parents as the centre policy, the paramountcy clause. That's what you have to do. So from then on, here's what happens. If you want to talk about vaccination, oh my gosh, you have to talk to the parent. If you want to talk about education and teaching them anything from sexuality and so forth, you have to talk to the parent. Why? Because they're part of the family. That's how you change this. That's how you make sure that our family and our whānau is at the centre of what we do.